Today it's the turn of Alison Moyet. From years ago she sang a song, This House, and it took me long enough to go through my files to actually bring it up because it's an absolute masterpiece of a song. Very underrated compared to all of her pop classic hits that she had notoriety for. But it's a beautiful ballad, it's meaningful, and it's haunting as well. And it's a song by the British singer-songwriter, released in 1991 as the fourth single from her third studio album, Who Do. It was written by Moyet and produced by David Dix. The song reached number 40, which is, for me, it was so unjust. It deserved to be in the top 5, but because of notoriety with her pop songs, it reached number 40 in the UK singles charts, and also number 40 in Netherlands, peaking at number 31 in the Dutch top 40. Having recorded her second studio album, Rain Dancing, while living in Los Angeles at the time, Alison returned to live in England after completing a world tour, and Moyet's record company, CBS, wanted her to continue producing pop hits. But this left the singer feeling artistically compromised and under pressure to deliver. So during the period after returning to England, Moyet began songwriting partnership with Pete Glenister, who had been Moyet's guitarist for the part of the Rain Dancing tour. Keen to have a more artistic freedom, she suggested to CBS that Glenister should produce her Muff Winwood of the label's A&R division, that granted Moyet permission to record the album she wanted to, with Who Do, being released eventually in April 1991. This House has originally been recorded, she said, and released as the B-side to Moyet's 87 non-album single, Love Letters. For Who Do, the song was recorded with Dave Dix as producer on her official website, and Moyet has been cited as saying that the song was one of her favourites from the Who Do album. Fast forward to what the song means. The song, looking at the lyrics in the song, to me is exploring that theme of loss, loneliness, and longing for companionship. And the song reflects on that emptiness and desolation within a once vibrant and happy home.
Whose sticky hands are these? And what is this empty place? I could be happily lost, but for your face. Here stands an empty house. It used to be full of life. Now it's home for no one, and here's why. It's a harbor land. Who can take your place? I can't face another day. And who will shelter me? It's cold in here. Cover me. Under these fingertips, the strange body rolls and dips. I close my eyes, and you're here again. Later, as day descends, I'll shout from my window to anyone listening. I'm losing. Ooh.
When Alison sang Only You, millions of people around the world jumped on board and said it was one of the most hauntingly beautiful songs they've ever heard, and couldn't compare it to any other, and said it was a masterpiece of its time, and the longevity will go on and on in the music industry. Now, I don't dispute that, because even 30 years later, being a huge Alison Moyet fan, and somebody I go back to have a soulful uplift, this was one of the songs I felt that was not in a competitive league, but comparable to what everyone was saying. And I'm going to summarize it up by what a fan said. She could sing a shopping list and I'd be in awe. Stunning, as always. And that's my sentiments after listening to that, and I hope you agree. It's up there with Only You, and it is a powerful, powerful message that she's delivering. So I'm going into how those lyrics evoke a sense of mystery and uncertainty now. Now, Alison questions many things on many levels in the lyrics, and I think it's coming from a background where there was despondency, there was upheaval in the family home or in a relationship that she was in. And then the relationship fell apart and she just felt lonely thereafter. And that empty space symbolizes a void left by somebody like Alison who would have experienced that in her life. Now, the phrase, "I could be happily lost but for your face," suggests to me that the singer is holding on to some lingering feelings for somebody. Possibly, maybe, it could be, as I've just said, an ex-lover who she is, I think, probably trying to move on from. But despite a desire to be happily lost, in the absence of that person, I feel their presence and memory still haunt the singer. She still lingers, she still wants, but that, they're normal feelings when you think of it, because when we all break up from somebody that we put so much effort and time into, they're the feelings that's left behind. But we don't know how to deal with them, we're kind of stuck. And how she feels is, when she describes an empty house, that's how you feel emotionally. You've got the black clouds, you've got so on and so forth, manifesting from, let's say, from happiness. It's two opposite contrasts. There's nothing in the middle to make you move on. And it conveys that sense of abandonment. And then mentally, they always say the mental over the physical. Well, that for me is deterioration, because if you look in the lyrics say, "Now it's home for no one and his wife." And when you think of it, maybe Alison at the time was thinking, well, this relationship could lead to marriage and I'll be the wife and blah, 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 blah. People tend to jump the gun a lot early in the relationship, but it implies to me that the house now is devoid of even having any of those memories. They're gone. The relationship's gone. It's devoid of any meaning, and highlighting that loneliness is felt very strongly in these lyrics by Alison. When it's repeated, who can take your place? That is a question we all ask subconsciously, don't we? We all sit, we all reflect, we all think after a relationship, what the hell now is going to happen? And you face life on your own and it has a lot of upheavals. And she says, "I can't face another day." Well, that's normal. That's what we all have to face. And it's until you can look in the mirror, and I've often said this to myself and to people, and say, "I'm worth it. And I can," instead of "I cannot. And I will," instead of not even trying. That void will always be felt and never filled with the sense of hope, what life can bring you and what's around the corner. That won't happen. And it's significant in Alison's life to have wrote this song, I feel, because that was her stepping stone. Think about what CBS did to her, what I mentioned, and there was a reason I mentioned it. She was devoid of, when she sang pop classic hits like Only You and all of it, of creativity. And that was her loneliness. And yet her and Vince were instrumental in moving the pop music into a ballad form that was acceptable within pop music, if that makes sense. Only You was one of those classic overture pop hits that turned things around for a lot of people. And people then started saying, wow, Alison did this amazing song, we're going to also be creative and write a ballad, even though it's pop music we're known for. But as she said, she suffocated. So even when she went home, she had no relationship, it was devoid. But her relationship, I think, is also mentioned in here subconsciously with the music industry. And that's what suffocated her. And I feel that's what caused the emptiness. And the need for warmth and comfort in being creative with a song like this. Now, the bridge of the song is just all the metaphors, all the symbolic natures of describing a plague of hateful questioning and lovers jousting when you think of it. It's internal, it's about turmoil, it's about that confusion. And it's about her struggle with pain and loss and desire for connection, both musically and at home. She was getting no peace at this time in the early 90s. But overall, the house for me portrays this. It's a longing for companionship on a personal level, the emptiness of a once vibrant home. And maybe she did go through a phase where the pop music was great, but she just got exhausted of it. And the internal battle between moving on, both musically and at home, and holding on to memories of what once was and what could be if it was allowed, is all explored. And the impact of that song will always live on in the memories of those that love a song like this and love the fact that Alison really proved to everybody, this is the creative side that I want people to see. And that impact of loss that she felt on a personal level, well, we all feel it. And that sense of feeling loved and feeling needed in this world is what we all desire. And if you're in that in-between stage, I wish you well. Thanks for listening. Don't forget to comment, like, subscribe.